Hey there, welcome to another edition of the Akashic Portal Weekly Insights from the Illuminating Journey Cards for the week of February 1 through 7th, 2021. I'm your host, Jen Dushin, jendushin.com, and this week we step into February, a new month, a 2-month on the calendar, 7 universal months in a 5 universal year. So this is a lot to do with the mind, how the mind's thinking, how the mind communicates with the body, the flow of air, the flow of communication. So it might be a tiring month, but it's also a month of reflection and a month of research. We're researching for what is true for us, what we value, what we care about, what has meaning. What are we trying to communicate? Because that's the bottom line, is we're all trying to communicate something. Mercury has gone into retrograde on the 30th, which is also an indication of this kind of research, reflect, reevaluate. We're slowing down to connect with what is sacred, what is true for us. So definitely pay attention to what's coming up for you, what you want to reflect on, what you want to communicate, how the world is communicating or how you're reading it, etc. We have Mercury in Aquarius doing its backward dance. We also have in a couple of days Venus moving into Aquarius, maybe tomorrow. So those two together, they're part of our personal planets, very much about expanding and innovating new ways of expressing connection, love, love of beauty, our value. What do we value? What do we care about? How do we express it in a different world, in a different place, feeling different? How do we bring that out? So let's see what the cards have to say. These cards, the Illuminating Journey cards, were created by me with the guidance of the Akashic Records. So the first card, Soul Portal number 3. I find this fascinating that we begin with this emergence, this pushing up of our head, right? Now we've just been talking about Mercury, this pushing up of our head, of our mind, of our crown into the light, into the joy, into this expansion of warmth, of connecting to who we are. And right there, the symbol, the triquetra, let's see, the triquetra, it's a Celtic goddess symbol representing the Trinity of 3. So we have a lot of 3s in our lives: mind, body, soul, man, woman, child, whatever you want to do. 3 is a very powerful number in our world because it helps us understand the connections, how things are interconnected. And as you can see in the symbol, those 3 things overlap. So each one is impacted by the other, just like a triangle. Every corner of the triangle is connected to something else. So they have equal weight, equal value. And this is this energy of finding that sense of equality of your mind, your brain, your being, receiving what is joyfully yours, communicating with the light, the golden light of your spirit. There's also a unicorn and the sense of the hands touching, the fingers, the finger of life, bringing ourselves into life in a new way, being reborn. We are in a time of rebirth. That is the condition of revolution. Whatever you think about revolution, remember revolution is around, right? When you have a revolution of the clock, it's the movement of the clock. We're in the 21st year, which is the what is that in the tarot? Is it the world? I don't know. Anyway, it is all about the circle of life. And when you think about your life and this revolution we're experiencing, it's about bringing things into balance. It's the rotation of newness, of the compost, of we're in a space right now where we can actually tap into fertile land of within ourselves, within the expanse around us that has not been touched on. The fertility of what is possible, what we can bring forward that has been hidden, that we have hidden, that has been hidden from us in a whole new way. So it's a very compelling time, very exciting, very magical. And of course, we have to shift things in order to do things differently, experience them differently. I think this card speaks so beautifully of that. We have the butterflies, the rose, all of these different aspects that speak of transformation through the light, through us understanding the alchemy of who we are, of how our minds, what they're fed on or what they're feeding on, can influence the rest of us and how we connect with others. This is also about joy, about self-expression, about discovery, being childlike in our approach. Childlike is not childish. Childlike means we are expanding into looking at everything curiously with wonder. How amazing is this? I get to play and do things in places I probably wanted to, but was told I couldn't go into, and now I can. So it feels very expansive. The card number 2 is the key. And I love that this comes next. I find it so fascinating how the universe, how the Akashic beings speak through these cards, because of course they're full of the energy of the Akashic. So when we go from here, from the sense of expansion and opening, we need a key to get there, right? So the key is a tool, and the understanding what the tool means to you. What is the key? What's the missing key? Is it something you need to learn? Is it something you already have in your possession that you've never thought of? Is it something you have to go out and ask for, seek, discover, try out? What does the key mean to you when you think about this idea? Expanding your mind, opening your being, opening your heart, as if you're floating in a liquid energy where anything is possible. If you can notice how the figure is so relaxed in this picture, this image, totally relaxed, totally willing to be exposed to something different. And when you have the key, that definitely can help you expand into that place. You have the key, or it's available to you in some way, shape, or form. So seek the key for the right door, the right place, the right experience. Where do you want to go? Because it all depends on the key, right? What are you going to do? How are you going to find that key? Where are you going to go? What are you going to give up? What are you going to allow in? What are you going to receive? And card 3 is the 34 card, which I think showed up last week. Is such an incredible card of journeying into the center of your being, journeying into the places in your heart, in your mind, and your body, and your awareness that perhaps you have not journeyed to. Perhaps you've dreamt of them and have not allowed yourself to go there. This is a very sacred time of entering this exploration. You'll notice that the figure has the butterfly on her back, its back, and there are butterflies in here. The butterfly, the transformation, this idea could also resemble the key. This image is from a very sacred place I visited in England, at least on this side here. St. Nectan's Glen. So it's full of the sacredness. It has the fire, the snake, the pyramid, this symbol of the earth. It's very much about earthing this sense, so coming to earth with your desires, with your truth. And of course, the 3 and 4, making the 7, that's 7, the sacred number of your own wisdom, rediscovery of your own wisdom, the willingness to enter the deep forest where you will transform, where you're going, leaving behind things that maybe you have been attached to. So what are you doing, or how are you doing? How are you getting to this space, to this place where you're in your element, rising up to the light, allowing yourself to be in full flow here with the fire of the rose warming your heart and relaxing you enough to engage in the mystical, the magical, the relationship of yourself to the divine, allowing the key to help you, to guide you, to indicate where you need to go, and then here, this is where you're going, right? Both figures moving away from what they've known, traveling towards what is mysterious, what is true, what is holy, what is sacred, what has meaning. Very much a journey of the self. So this week is all about that, allowing yourself to expand into something bigger. Don't allow yourself to be constricted by the constraints of others telling you this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's always been done. No, you have the key, you have the willingness, the expansiveness, the opportunity to open that up. Yeah, zip out of that suit that you've been wearing and just expanding yourself to going, yes, I am going to explore who I am, and I'm going to think about how I think differently, because I want to have a different experience. I want to be able to feel what I feel and experience that connection to the divine and that connection to the earth. I find that really mystical that we're here in this space, going from this sense of divinity or connection to the divine, to the earthly energy of being on the earth using the key. So that's it from me for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what lands for you. I did mention last time I was going to be having classes for the Illuminating Journey cards starting on the 13th, but that is not going to happen because I realized I'm not ready and I have something up on that day. So I'm going to shift the date. So I will be letting you know about that. If that's something you're interested in, you can certainly subscribe to my newsletter and you'll hear all about it, or join me on Facebook in my group, Akashic Swan Guidance. I just want to wish you an amazing week, and you understand the immense power you carry within you, that you have the key, that you are being guided. You're never alone, but you do need to open yourself up to what else there is. You will feel the difference. Till next time.